What's good, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Power 2 podcast presented by Get Defensive Sports Network. As always, I'm your host, Jordan, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Dante and DJ.
Hey.
What's good, y'all?
Let's see if the internet betrays us today or
First
if
of
we're
all,
going to have
don't
a
say
good day.
that. Come on.
Now,
Why are we putting that in the air?
I'm just saying we had to.
No,
We had to.
no.
Why'd
That's
you
not.
do
That's
that?
not.
We have to break the ice.
If
This
it
has happened
doesn't
3
work,
weeks in a row. This is not like I'm just talking.
If it doesn't work, it's your fault because you spoke it into existence.
Bad faith,
if it don't
bad
work,
juju, bad juju.
That's a crazy way to start the podcast.
Anyways, but you can start the podcast with any of your unhinged thoughts. But when I start the podcast with my unhinged thoughts, I'm the villain. That's crazy.
Well, because my unhinged thoughts aren't about equipment that affects the podcast. It's about other people. Be unhinged about the world, not my internet.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, welcome back to Power 2 Podcast, where we are just one sneeze away from living in a fascist nation. Is that better?
See? Now, that's
where
how
we
you
talk
start
about
a
the
podcast.
power of fascism.
Well,
You said well?
Okay.
Not really.
So, news.
Oh, gosh. Where we talk about the power of propaganda.
Yeah, well, I listen.
Sorry. I'm done now.
The propaganda machine is crazy.
They're woke.
and is.
Oh, my gosh.
Goodness. Yeah, we won't woke the holy war, but we will woke fascism. News.
Wow.
There's no news.
Is there news? No, there's news.
Exact moment. I don't have news at this exact moment.
News. Okay, go ahead.
I don't have news at this exact moment. Maybe DJ will have news in the next 30 seconds. But what I will say
y'all keep going.
is this is probably going to be another podcast where a coach gets fired in the middle of, especially because I currently saw a tweet that says Florida's coaching staff has a meeting at 1 p.m., multiple sources say. It is now 1:43. And then they said there's another meeting.
1 p.m.
It's Florida, so it has to be Eastern.
Oh, okay.
It's 1:43, and then they had another meeting where they asked the players to come in at 2 p.m. This typically only happens when a coach gets fired, and everyone was saying that the coach was going to get fired because this is their bye week. And so while it has not officially been announced yet,
we may have another. That will be our third firing on the air this season alone. Speaking of firing, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so Billy Napier may be getting fired.
Well, speaking of firing, you know who's not getting fired? Kurt Cignetti. He is not getting fired because Indiana said, you actually will stay with us for 8 years and $93 million. That news broke this week. So yes. I did want to get that out there. Kurt Cignetti is 93 of them.
Yeah.
And how long has he been there? How long has he been there now?
He was
a year and a half.
Yeah. So they said, we're not letting you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I understand it. I do, but
that's a large chunk of change.
It's not even. It's a big commitment after just a year and a half. Now, two. I think they're gonna finish out the year pretty good. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say 2 pretty good to great years, nonetheless. But you are Indiana. That's hard to keep up.
Yeah. So here's the thing. He's 64, right?
Okay.
2 years ago. Hold on. 2 years ago, he was making $650,000. I'm not saying that that's nothing, but that's what he was making, right? And then he gets hired at Indiana, right, for $4.5 million. He has the year he has last year. They then take his salary within like 9 months, right? As soon as the season ended, they give him a raise to $8 million, right? So
he's
then,
like, let me Google.
midway through this year, right, this week, he went from $8 million to $11.3 million. So essentially, in a 2-year time span, he went from $650,000 to $11.3 million. And less than a year's time, he went from the 18th highest paid coach in college football
to
the third highest paid coach.
It's like 300% increase.
And 650 ain't nothing to laugh at. But he's 64. 650 not really feeding him and his grandkids forever. So in 2 years, he went from 650 to 11. Yeah, but like not like 11.3 is.
Nah, I know.
If Indiana fires him without cause during his new deal, the entire $93 million is guaranteed.
See, here's the thing. He's not gonna get fired.
He's not.
Because this is the greatest coach in Indiana history.
Yeah,
and this
he's
is
not, for
essentially a
sure.
retire. Because again, he's 64. This is a retirement contract for him. Either he'll coach the full 8 years, or he'll retire somewhere in between. Because I don't know if he's gonna be trying to coach till he's 75. But it's just it's crazy. He went from $650,000 2 years later. He's making 11.3.
On average, yep.
Congrats to him. But yeah, no, to that point, because we're going to see this and we'll have more news about this as it goes on. The greatest thing that's ever happened to a sitting head coach who's not going to leave is his name being in rumors. He was never leaving Indiana, especially not for Penn State. One, again, he's 64. This is the best job he's ever had in his entire life. And he's
if y'all don't know he's 64,
he's a great
before today,
I'm
you know now.
I'm saying this for a reason, though. He's been good everywhere that he's been at, right?
Yeah.
Typically, when you're good everywhere you've been at, you get this type of job at 40, maybe even 50. So Indiana, and then a lot of people didn't want to hire him because they're like, why would I hire a 62-year-old coach who who knows when he's going to retire? So on top of the fact that he's making over 300% more than what he's ever made in his entire life. He's 64. He's at the only big job that would give him this sort of that would even hire him, because he and all the years that he's coaching, he's probably wanted to get to this level and he wasn't going to get there. And it's a good job. He was never going to leave, but because James Franklin got fired and they mentioned his name 2 or 3 times in some articles, Indiana gave him a $3 million raise and put him from the 18th best, highest paid coach to the 3rd, only behind Kirby Smart and Ryan Day. So
Kirby Smart being up there is so funny to me.
he has 2 natties. So
I know. And I'm not. Listen, get it how you live, okay?
Yeah.
They've been up there for a minute too. So like.
Yeah. That's why I was like, he's been one of the highest paid for a while. That's why I was like, that's no shade to Kirby Smart. I just think it's funny. Speaking of $90 million, Kevin Durant also got a $90 million extension from the Houston Rockets.
Huh?
Yes.
2 years, 90 mil. Yeah.
2 years, $90 million. You want to talk about retirement contracts? You want to talk about retirement contracts? One right there.
We gave a 38-year-old what?
They gave a 38-year-old $90 million. Now, here's the thing. KD is 38. KD. That's right. He is 38. I was like,
KD,
for a second, I don't know.
I
was like, for a second, I was like, did I say the right letters? I was trying to make sure I said the right letters. KD is 38 years old, but I think we would also be lying if we said that, like, he's not playing well. Like, it's not like he's 38 years old and dragging teams down. If anything, he did his best to drag the Phoenix Suns somewhere, but when Devin Booker isn't showing up and other niggas aren't showing up.
Going to the Phoenix Suns was dragging the Phoenix Suns.
I mean, points.
At the end of the day,
there.
KD wants another championship. I mean, that's just
no,
how
he
it goes.
doesn't.
Yes, he does. Shut up.
I don't believe that.
I believe it. Shut up.
Okay.
I am not falling for any KD slander
he just
on this podcast today.
Make money, dog.
KD is about to be KD. As soon as he got that, not that he needed the money, but as soon as he got that money, he called James Harden and he said, "So, what was those strip clubs you used to go to?"
Crying.
Where do we kick it at Houston? You want to pull up? I know they still remember you down here.
But KD now holds the record for highest career earnings in NBA history at $598.2 million based on current and future salaries, surpassing LeBron James at $583.9 million. He is earning 50. Right. He's earning 54.7.
Wemby's going to blow that out the water. Somehow Jason Tatum's about to blow it out the water because he's already on a $400 million contract.
Yeah.
Like, the money that these people are going to make, like, by the time this generation is done, like, I'm not even talking about the future. I'm talking about the niggas that are playing right now. They're going to make LeBron look broke. Not off the court, but like on the court. Like, who's going to be the first player that's going to make $750 million in his career?
Yeah.
It's going to be Wemby, right?
Wemby probably. No, actually, Jaylen Brown. Who has the higher one out of Jason and Jaylen? Jason?
Jason. Because they're basically the same contract. Jason just has like $10 million more.
Jason came the year after, so it's Jason's.
Yeah.
It's going to be Jason.
Yeah.
If he comes back from the Achilles tear from and he's actually back for real.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it'll I don't know. It'll be hard. It's going to be harder now. The CBA, the double cap, all that, it will be harder for a lot of people. Like, Jaylen Brown's never getting that type of money ever again. Never again.
Oh,
Jaylen Brown's never getting that money again. Never.
I don't know much about their CBA.
Well,
so.
he has that money in Kirsten, whatever her name is. So he's
Kierce.
He's all right.
He's good.
He is,
but like,
oh my God.
he ain't never going. He is not going to get a. He is not going to get a. Though there's a lot of stupid teams out there, but he shouldn't get another $200 million, $300 million contract. under
Yeah.
this CBA. Not even close. It would crush it because it would either crush the team where you couldn't put people around him, especially as
Oh,
a
yeah.
second option. As a second
Yeah.
option, you couldn't do that. And if you want to make him a first option, you're unserious anyway. So
Wow. Okay. So that's the news. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
well,
And then
Look
the
at-
Michigan thing.
well.
What?
Breaking: Florida has fired Billy Napier.
Oh, well,
See,
look
they
at
just
that.
waited. They just waited till we started recording. They wanted to wait till we press record. That's it. They out
That was
of
8 minutes ago.
respect. Out of respect for the Power
That
2
was
The
8 minutes
notification.
ago.
they said,
Yeah.
I didn't get the notification either. I'm on Twitter. I always stay on Twitter when we record in case there's news that comes
Because you
through
don't
there
get the
faster.
exclusives
No,
like
I
I
don't.
do.
I don't have the Dallas,
get 'em like I
internet
do.
exclusive.
Yo,
So I have to
ESPN is
go
not
to Twitter.
clocked in.
Yeah. So yeah, breaking 1 minute ago on 3 Sports, Florida has fired Billy Napier. They said, out of respect for the Power 2 podcast, we would like to wait until they hit record so that they can react to this. I don't think that this is as groundbreaking as
I'm
the
not
James
shocked.
Franklin one.
Yeah.
We sort of knew this was coming. They have been doing this for 2 years, and he just kept sort of winning his way off of it. And then at a certain point, they're like, we're not going to do that anymore. You heard it here first. I think this is going to be James Franklin's job. I don't see who else they're going to hire. I think they're going to hire James Franklin.
I think this is
I
going
mean,
to be
they
good
have
for
to.
both schools. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
This
to.
should be
That's the
good
best.
for both
He's
school
the
and him.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
the best option for coaches that are available that can actually
Until
create
we
some
start,
type of
until
championship
maybe
culture.
some more firings might
Until
happen.
right, but I'm saying the
Yeah,
best
but,
option
like,
as of right now is James Franklin.
I also think, like, you could argue that he's the best option in general because you're going to have to look at sitting head coaches, right?
Yeah.
But for Florida, it's like, okay, so let's just play a little game. James Franklin or Lane Kiffin. And I'm saying coaches that they would have to buy out of their contract. Do you want
Mhm.
James Franklin or Lane Kiffin? I would
James
take
Franklin.
James.
James Franklin.
Do you
What?
want? I don't think that this is possible unless he gets fired. But do you want James Franklin or Brian Kelly? Some
James
people may
Franklin
say
still.
Brian, but I think I'm also
I
going to say
want James
James.
Franklin still.
Do you want
The way
James
he let
Franklin?
Vandy run all over him like that yesterday, no.
Yeah. Do you
No.
want James Franklin or Eli Drinkowitz, who's the head coach at Mizzou?
I don't really know much about him, if I'm being honest.
If we're going off a namesake, I get it, but I think
Eli would be interesting.
I think there should be certain schools, maybe even Florida, where we start going into new names, going into younger people. Like,
Well,
it should
that's what Eli
should
would
be
do
a-
because Eli's
yeah,
winning
it
at
should
Mizzou,
be a generation change right about now in coaching
which would
in
be
college.
So would you lean towards Eli then? Eli's probably like
I
38 to
might.
42, and he's winning at
Oh
Mizzou.
yeah. That's what
Okay.
I'm talking about. We should be getting to a shift. Some of these guys are, especially that. I don't know how they fully feel about the NIL stuff and things like that. That a lot of these older coaches have been complaining about. It's made it harder to recruit and blah blah blah.
This other
Like,
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I get it. James Franklin has a name. He's a successful coach, but how old is he? Probably 50, 61 at the oldest is what I'm going to go with.
I would say I'm gonna guess 56, but I could be wrong.
Who? James Franklin?
James Franklin.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
looking
know
it
how
up
old
now.
he is. I'm looking
Well,
at news.
while you look it up, I'll just say this: Eli
53.
Drinkowitz at
He's-
oh
That's not
okay
bad. That's
yeah
young.
that's all right.
Okay,
Eli
okay.
Drinkowitz, Eli Drinkowitz is 42, and he has a overall record of 56-26, which is a 683 winning percentage. And he was the coach. He's been at Mizzou for 6 years. Which I mean, honestly, I think that's a
Like
good
new
time to
coach.
leave if
That's
you
what
wanted to
I'm saying,
sort of go up.
newer coach, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. And then outside of those names, right, there may be other ones, but like you're not getting Ryan Day, you're not getting Kirby Smart, you're not getting any of those guys.
Which
There's
I
some other
wouldn't
names.
see them over there anyway, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
there's
Like,
some other names that used to be hot that aren't super hot anymore, like Mike Norvell at Florida State, who's about to get fired, different things like that. So I think, like, in my opinion, I think James, unless you want to go like really young, right? You want to take like Georgia's defensive coordinator, you want to take Oregon's offensive coordinator. Those are some names that have been flown around. I think James Franklin
He's
or
the
Eli
best option.
Drinkowitz is
Yeah.
probably the two that I would look at, and it just sort of depends. James Franklin's the easiest one to get because you don't have to convince him to leave his job because he don't got one.
Yeah,
He
Tommy,
don't
you don't
have
got
one.
no job.
And he
So,
said he was ready to coach again. I remember when I
yeah,
was watching yesterday, you know,
I mean,
the
he's only
carousel that
53.
ESPN does at the bottom.
yeah.
On the carousel, it just kept saying James Franklin, ready to coach, ready to get back at it, ready to da da da. And I'm like,
He
not
was
the
literally
press.
in the midst of coaching.
Right.
Like,
Not the press
my
being like
bad.
somebody hired James Franklin. I thought this was very interesting. This is not something I want to belabor, but I was talking to my family the other day about, we were just talking about football and everything. And I didn't realize that Quinn Ewers was not like actively in the NFL. Like this is how you know I wasn't paying attention.
He's not.
Apparently he's not. That's what my
I thought he
brother-in-law
got
said. Like
drafted in like the
he
seventh
got
round. He
he
got
got
cut.
drafted in the 7th round. He played in the preseason, but he did not make the roster. He is the
Oh,
backup for the Dolphins today. He is
okay.
QB2 over Zach Wilson for the Dolphins today, and they are playing
Oh,
right
Zach
now.
Wilson is the only name
Interesting.
out of these names that can't turn it around for himself. Fuck. Everybody else
So
left
I
to
just thought I
Justin
would say that
made a
because I thought I
career.
was crying. I just thought I would say that because I was like, I didn't realize that he wasn't in the league, but this is now his first time on an active game day roster, and it is today. Now, I don't think he's going to touch the ball today, but it was just an interesting
Well, I
thought because we
mean,
spoke about Quinn Ewers so much last season, and I
Yeah,
was like, what happened to him?
yeah.
Tua
Well,
get
So,
tackled the wrong way. You never know.
but it's
yeah.
Tua, and that's what I was about to say. It's Tua, so you really never know with Tua, the concussion slayer. But anyways,
Not the
back to,
concussion slayer. That's crazy.
I mean,
Um,
That was wild.
yeah.
That was
So
insane.
we don't, as of now, there's no more news, but other coaches may get fired. So,
love that.
and this is not news, but I don't have another place to put this in the show, so we'll use this to sort of go through our power sweep. This week was the week of the unbeatens catching their first loss.
First loss
There
week. It's
were
first loss week.
11 there were 11 unbeatens heading into the week. 5 of them lost.
Damn.
Miami lost, Ole Miss lost, Texas Tech lost, Memphis lost, and UNLV lost.
I saw the
If I
Texas
remember
game.
UNLV was
correctly,
undefeated.
yeah, if I remember correctly, Ole Miss is the only one that played like that's not super surprising. Ole Miss played Georgia. They played a great game, but they played Georgia. All of the
Yeah,
other ones were upsets. Louisville upsets Miami. Arizona State upsets Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yep.
And I don't have the Memphis and UNLV ones on the top of my mind, but I do know both of those were upsets. At least the UNLV one was. I can't remember who Memphis played. So yeah, so we now have 6 unbeatens left in the sport: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, BYU, Georgia Tech, and Navy.
Georgia Tech is
I would just like to say I called this in the preseason,
you
not
did.
because I thought they were good. I mean, they're decent, they're all right, but their schedule is
It's
cheats.
just
And I
too
thought
easy.
I like
Yeah.
their coach. Brent Key, I like their coach, and so I was like, with as long as the quarterback stays healthy, knock on wood, and their schedule and some things, like I didn't call it undefeated. I thought like I wasn't sure if they were going to beat Clemson. They did. Shout out for us. Hey,
Hey,
great for the
hey.
brand. But now they have like nothing left on their schedule except Georgia at the end of the year,
Woo!
so they
That's
should
gonna be so
be
much fun.
11-1 at worst. Especially because like they've tried to get upset like 2 weeks in a row and they keep winning. So eventually, hopefully, they just play good and they don't have to keep coming back. Like eventually, they remember that they're a good team
They're
because they've
Georgia.
tried
Yeah.
to lose games. I'm talking about Georgia Tech. Georgia
With
Tech
Georgia
has
Tech.
tried to lose games like 2 weeks
Yeah.
in a row and they still
Yeah, they
win.
have.
So like hopefully maybe the last couple of games they'll just win and they'll be a good team and they should make the
At large bid.
yeah,
No,
they should make the
the
ACC
ACC championship.
championship.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Against
and
SMU.
if they make the ACC championship, they're almost guaranteed to get into the playoff. And the last thing that I'll say as we go into our power sweep to talk about the next team, which is
Louisville,
this
Miami,
is
isn't
not
it?
right. Oh, I put Florida. That should be Miami. Miami no longer controls its own destiny in the ACC because there are a bunch of
Crazy.
teams in the ACC who are undefeated in the ACC and don't play each other. So Miami could win out and still not make
Still
the
not.
ACC championship game because
Because their ACC
Louisville,
record is
yeah,
ass.
yeah. So I think it's Virginia. I think Virginia is undefeated in the ACC. Georgia Tech's undefeated in
SMU
the
is.
ACC. SMU is undefeated in the ACC. Are they in the ACC?
Yes, we are. We're
Yeah.
3-0
Okay,
in the ACC.
they're undefeated in the ACC, and then Louisville has the tiebreaker over Miami. So Miami needs 4 teams to lose games in the last 5 weeks for them to even make the ACC championship game. They could end the year 11-1 and not make the ACC championship game
Love
because
this
they
for
lost.
me.
And let's be honest, they're gonna lose another game, right?
They are.
But they. I don't know if it's funnier if they lose another game or if it's funnier if they go 11-1 and don't make the ACC championship game.
I think
If
I'm
they go
laughing
11,
regardless.
I think
if they
might
go
go
11-1,
I'm laughing either way.
Yeah, if they go 11-1, they're still going to make the playoffs. They have some good wins, but they won't be in the ACC championship. So
here's a question: like, when is it like a fireable offense at this point for Mario Cristobal to like? Yes, he has this success, but he's not getting them to where they ultimately, especially Miami, feels like. He's been there for 6 years, hasn't he? Isn't it like 5 or 6 years?
6.
I don't think it's been 6 years.
It has to have at least been 5.
I don't think it's been that long because Dan Lanning hasn't been at Oregon for 5 years, and that happened the same year. He left for Miami, and then Dan Lanning.
I'm just like, when does it become fired?
I think this might be his 4th year.
I'm just wondering, and this is not. I'm not saying he should be fired, but I'm just like, when does it become fireable when you have a team like Miami that has a certain expectation for themselves, although they haven't made a natty in a very, very long time, but they still live in the 80s. But like a team that has this like
Cowboys
expectation, huh?
Yeah, 2020. He got hired in December of 2021.
Okay,
22,
4 years.
23, 24. Yeah, this is his 4th season.
But I'm just like, they're always like kind of getting close to the mountaintop, but not actually there. So I'm just kind of like, when does that become?
It took 11.5 years for James Franklin to get fired. And they're basically doing the same thing.
You're right.
So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know that they're going to wait 11.5 years, but he was also a beneficiary of the 10-year like guaranteed contracts. So it also depends if Miami has the money. And as much as people like to think they do, Miami, if you don't know this, Miami's like a really small school. Like it's a small school in Florida. They don't have that much money.
Yeah,
right?
Small school, big brand.
And honestly, like, listen, kudos to them, but their brand is just off the back of the fact that South Florida had a shit ton of talent, and they just all went to Miami, and so they had that run in the 80s and 90s when they were the U. So like now, and that's why there's so many years that they weren't good because they were losing the talent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So who knows? Who knows if they even have the money to fire him? I think he probably gets at least 2 more years because the thing is like. This is still the best that they've been
in a while. That's true.
Since that 2001 national title game against Ohio State, it's been 24 years. So like, if he gets them into the playoffs, that's still progress.
That's a win for them.
I think what has to happen is sort of what has to happen with James Franklin. Is James Franklin reached a level where he got the fans super like I'm not saying that Miami fans aren't super excited, but he reached a level where they thought like, oh, we can win a national championship, and then it broke. I don't think Miami's reached the high under him enough where like they're at a point where they can get angry with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that
because
makes
it's
sense.
just now this year or two that they even think that they can reach the high. And I don't know. I'm not a Miami fan. Maybe I'm misreading it, but I think if they like, I don't know. I
hear
feel
you.
like
No, that makes sense. It was really just a general question because, like I said, I don't think that they should fire him. I
think they're getting there. Like I could see them get, especially this year. Like if they don't make the ACC championship this year, that means that's 2 back-to-back years where they thought they had a good team.
They
and
had
didn't
good
make it.
seasons and they didn't get
So
in. Yeah.
let's say next year they win like they go 8-4, right? Because they lose some talent, they don't get the quarterback. Then it's like I think then the angst starts to come, and then it's like I don't know because then you had the 2 high. You didn't reach the mountaintop, and then you fell back down. I think it's going to take that.
Period. Anyways, sorry. Louisville, Miami, Friday night happened.
Yes. Great game. Carson Beck turned into a pumpkin. 4 interceptions.
Okay.
Turned into a pumpkin. I'm just so glad that Carson Beck is living up to exactly what I knew that he was.
Yes.
I feel like because he played for Georgia, everybody's like, Carson Beck, he's so good. And I'm like, are y'all watching the games? I don't
there's a reason that that Georgia was literally like, we will go with a freshman. Not a freshman. We'll go with the quarterback who's never played. Before,
no, literally, they were like,
instead
"Thank you,
of this
bye."
guy, like, yeah, like, see ya. Like, we'll hope for the best with the new guy, and the new guy's actually decent. He's better than I thought.
Damn.
Like, you know, it's like it's just like, yeah, like, we'll go take your take your Corvette or whatever, your Lamborghini to Southern Florida. We don't want you anymore. And I
ya.
think people forget, and that's the thing that happens with these types of quarterbacks. White, I mean,
With
they
a
get a
strong
lot of
handshake. With a
chances.
strong handshake.
Yeah, and a strong face, and not in a good way.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
very bossy face. Very bossy. Poor
um,
thing. Anyway,
they get
sorry.
these excuses made for them.
Of
So
course.
people
He's
forget
got a
that he
face for
threw.
radio.
People
Dante is
forget.
deceased.
People forget that he threw 12 interceptions in 6 games.
In 6 games. I was like,
And they're
I
like,
don't want to hear nothing
oh,
else
but he
about
was
Carson Beck.
injured, or he was this, and he was
I don't
that, and
care.
he'll get it, and da da da.
I
And
don't
it's like
care.
nobody else would get that leeway. So everyone's like, oh, he's
No.
gonna bounce back, and he's gonna be an NFL draft pick, and he's
Is
had a
this his
good
first
first
bag?
6 games,
I was
but
about to say, is this his first
For the
bad
most
game
part,
this
yeah.
year?
which is
This
why
is
he
his
threw
worst.
4. Yeah, which is why he threw 4 interceptions, because he had to catch up to all the bad games that he
to
wasn't
get back
having.
into the swing of being
Yeah,
mediocre.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it was too much, right? He put too much good in the
Y'all are
bucket. You know
terrible.
the little seat. You know when you go to the little water park as
Y'all
a
are
kid
terrible.
that had the bucket and they pour the water in it, and when it fills up, it falls over.
Yeah.
He only has a bucket that can hold so much good.
So much good football before.
And he put too much good in it. It overflowed, and then it just instead of dripping, it just busted. It just exploded.
It actually
to
just
4
came out the bottom.
interceptions.
It didn't even flip over. It just came
Yeah,
out the bottom.
it just
Yeah, Carson Beck was due for a bad game, and this is the thing that sucks because I didn't actually watch the game, so I don't know if it was a coaching issue or actually just a playing issue that lost him the game. But
it was largely on him. Like we like
he was due for a bad game.
to make fun of Mario Cristobal, but this was largely on Carson.
This
Beck,
was Carson
Mario
Beck's fault.
this time.
Yeah, because when I saw that the game ended on a pick, I did see that, and then I think I got like the ESPN notification. It was like Louisville got a pick, game over, whatever, blah blah blah, and then it said Carson Beck threw 4. I said,
yeah. So
wait.
I will say there was a sort of coaching thing that was sort of bad though. It's because they got into field goal range, and then they let Carson Beck throw the ball. But they weren't even like trying to go for a touchdown, right? Like they were just trying to make the field goal easier.
Like closer.
And
yeah.
he threw an interception on like a 3-yard out route. Like it was just a horrible throw. And it was really just like, just go to overtime. Just run the ball. He's already thrown at this point. He's already thrown 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing again?
Yeah.
So he threw an interception. Like we have to say
he
this
can't
correctly.
be trusted in that moment.
He threw an interception while they were in field goal range.
Golly.
If you run the ball twice, call a timeout and kick a field goal, you get to overtime. And he threw an interception, and not even like, hey, let's go win the game. Let's throw for a touchdown. It was a 3-yard out route. And he threw it.
Did they have a timeout?
Oh, yes. I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay, so this was a combination of the two. It was poor. It was poor play on Carson's fault on Carson's end, but now, Mario Cristobal is still calling
should
the
have
plays,
just
right?
ran the ball.
I
don't think he calls the. Does he call the? I don't think he calls the offensive play. I don't know. I don't know.
Now here's
not
my
a,
next
not
question.
a smart choice.
Here's my next question because I'm just trying to keep it. All these interceptions that he threw, are these like, what are you doing, or are these tips?
Well, if you ask him,
is this athleticism?
He's throwing his teammate under the bus because he said his teammate ran the wrong route. The problem with that, did they run the wrong route 4 times? You know what I'm saying? Like which one? Because even if they ran the wrong route once, you threw 3 more. So like, what's?
But also, I'm not a fan of that because at the end of the day, if you know the scheme, you're the quarterback.
That's
have
why
the headset.
Nobody likes him.
You have the headset. So if you called the scheme and he ran the wrong route and you peeped that,
why'd you throw the ball?
Then you adjust because what?
So my rebuttal for that would be, I am predetermined thinking that by what I read in the defense, that route is open, what he's supposed to be running. So I throw it there thinking he's running that route, and he ran something different, picked off, which has happened a
4
lot.
Times.
Jordan said that didn't happen 4 times.
Even if it happened once, I can tell you it didn't happen 4 times.
No, there's no way.
So
that's why I was asking, what are these? How do all these
Because sometimes the picks
happen?
are just defensive.
Like sometimes it's
super
the receiver,
plays. Yeah.
The receiver probably bobbled. That's why I was like, what?
No.
What
Most
happened
of them
with
were on
these
him.
picks? Okay.
Most of them were on him.
I don't fuck with that. I'm not gonna throw your teammate under the bus. I don't fuck with that.
Especially when you threw the 4 picks.
You threw the picks. That goes on.
But
your
that
stats,
does. You're absolutely right. If you're gonna say, well, he ran the wrong route. All right. Well, which one of those picks was it? and then I'll explain the
Right,
other three.
like which one of the three? You know,
Can you explain the other three?
Yeah,
like what?
Explain the other three
keep
for
going.
me.
You got 3 more. You got 3
There's
more to
more.
go through. Talk us through all of them.
That film session is gonna be real interesting.
Yeah. Next
Anyway.
game, Vandy beats LSU 31-24. This is the first time that Vandy has beat LSU since 1990.
Yes.
Oh my.
Vandy. Yeah,
it was a good time. It was a fun game.
Yeah, Vandy's a good team. I did not get to watch this game because I actually didn't get to watch most of the games because I was at Rutgers homecoming, but I was keeping an eye on the score. And I thought this was good because like it's just time to get LSU out of here, right? There was after what we've seen this year, there's no way they were the number 10 team in the nation.
No.
And there's this thing, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to spend all this time complaining about national media. We do that a lot. But this year,
we haven't
national
much this
media,
season, actually.
well, yeah, this year, national media tried to gaslight us.
Listening that much to national media.
Well, they're drinking the Garrett Nussmeier Kool-Aid. They're gulping it down. They love them some Garrett Nussmeier. That's how you say his last name. Nussmeier. They're obsessed, which is fine. He didn't play terribly.
Yeah, but like they tried to gaslight us into saying that preseason rankings don't actually matter. And then it's like, okay, so you watched 6 weeks of LSU and thought they were the number 10 team in the country. It wasn't because you had them ranked in the top 5 in the preseason. It was you with your 2 eyes watched LSU and said they only had 1 loss before this game. But it's just like but like Washington was also 5-1 before this game, and they were unranked.
That's
true.
And
and this is not to defend Washington because Washington just lost to Michigan, whatever. That's not my point. But you, not because of preseason rankings, you watched LSU. I don't think so. You watched LSU with your 2 eyes and said that they were the number 10 team. It's just like, let's just be honest about the fact that, yes, these rankings they do affect the season. Like, what you rank a team in the preseason does affect them, which is why LSU was number 10. And even though they had their second loss to Vandy, they're still probably going to only fall to like 20 or 21, something like. They're still going to be in there, and they're going to be propping up other SEC teams as a good loss until they lose a eventual 3rd game, which is when you'll finally take them out of the top 20.
I'll say I enjoyed watching the game just simply because I enjoyed watching Diego Pavia. I am obsessed with him. I'm not like sitting here being like, oh my God, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Like, no, I just really appreciated the grit that he played with, the fact that he kind of just took Vandy and said, listen, we're winning today. Like, you could tell it was kind of like that Cam Scatterboo moment, like during the playoffs, where he was like, we're winning this game, even if that means I have to win the game for us. Like, that was the energy that Diego Pavia came out with. Like, he was hurdling niggas. He was running. He had a 21-yard touchdown. Like, rushing touchdown. Like, he was hitting all the right targets. I have to go back and look. I don't think he threw any picks, if I'm mistaken. He had a few incomplete because he had a little bit too much air under the ball. But for the most part, he made good decisions. He ran when he was supposed to run. The O-line was doing what they were supposed to do. Like, Vandy looked fucking good. Like, and it was really mostly because of Diego Pavia. Like, they looked good, and LSU looked frazzled the entire time. Like, the defense looked frazzled. Everybody looked confused. Everybody was like, what is going on? I think it's time that we really start owning that Vandy is a real threat. 3 years ago, we didn't give a fuck. Now, especially with Diego Pavia, Vandy is a threat.
Vandy and Indy.
Period.
What? Guess the AP just dropped.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even want to look.
Yeah, it is 2:00.
I don't want to
Guess where LSU is.
Number 14.
No.
16.
No.
21?
They better not still be at 10.
It was 20. I was right. They put them at 20.
Oh, okay.
They dropped them 10 spots.
10
put them at 20.
Where's Vandy?
Vandy is number 10.
There we go. Well, that's I'll take 10 for Vandy. I'll take 10. The point I'm getting at is Vandy is a real threat, and everybody should be very, very concerned. Do Vandy and Georgia play each other?
No idea.
No, I don't.
I'm sure we could find out, but
I'm looking. They don't, and they don't. That's a miscarriage. That is a miscarriage of justice. Because I don't think they normally do.
I don't think they normally do at all. Like, I don't. Yeah. Like, throughout the history of, I don't think that's a game that normally happens.
That they normally do.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a very rare game.
Anyways, Vandy plays Mizzou next week. That's going to be fun. We'll get into that later. But the game itself, LSU and Vandy, I would say was probably one of the most entertaining games I watched all day yesterday.
Yep.
Because Yesterday was a good day.
Yeah, it was. Next we have Georgia Tech and Duke. Georgia Tech tried to lose this game again. And then in the second half, they just decided to be like, hey, we do know how to play football. Like, I know we forgot that we know how to play football, but we do know how to play football. And they went out and scored a bunch
it's
of
crazy
points
because I
and
saw
ended
that
the
this
game.
game was on and was like, I'm not gonna watch this. Georgia Tech got it. Just for you to be like, yeah, Georgia Tech tried to lose. Like,
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
also felt the same way. I was like, oh, I'll just click in, and I saw the score, and I was like, okay, cool. And then at one point, it did look like, I think they were tied at one point, and I was like, should I be watching this?
like I didn't even have it up. That's why I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. I should be
But,
fine.
shout out to Georgia Tech for still being
Yeah.
undefeated. Love that for them.
Yep.
It's so funny
7-0.
it's so funny
Yes.
because you had them in your playoff picture, and I was like, Georgia Tech, like, I just,
Hey.
and then I left Notre Dame out of mine, and I think we might just be
Well,
genies.
well, Notre Dame is at number 12 right now, so
I
they
know.
might make it.
We might just
As
be
long,
genies.
Oh,
Nope, I don't want to hear
they've
it.
crept
Nope.
their way back up.
They
Huh?
yeah,
creep
they have
back
to.
up.
If they went out, they're probably gonna get in. So,
Yeah.
Bye.
unfortunately, yeah. Next game, SMU beats
Texas
Clemson.
and Penn State helped them.
Yeah, SMU beats Clemson 35-24.
Thank the
DJ.
gods. Thank the gods.
we
Thank
go,
the gods.
SMU.
But I will say, I have been saying since mid-September that we were going to beat them. Y'all can really go back and clock it. I have been saying this entire time that Clemson, if they don't get their third loss before they see us, we will be their third loss. We are now their fourth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I have been saying that this entire time because Clemson
they're
is not
going
as good
7-5. That's gonna be great.
It's about to be
Yes.
cheeks.
And then they're gonna lose their bowl game. That's beautiful.
I love every second of it. Love every second of it.
I was thoroughly impressed with SMU, to be honest. The only thing that was kind of annoying was we got a lot of penalties that just did not make sense. Like, throughout the game, like, they kept saying that the players were taunting, and I just don't feel like they were taunting. And that's, like, not even me being a homer. I just think there's a difference between, like, celebrating victories and, like, actually taunting. And I feel like the refs were being, like, particularly, like, sensitive over our actions towards the, like, and by our, I mean SMU, obviously, but the guys were just happy. Like, it didn't seem like anybody was, like, trying to fight anyone or trying to, like, cause, like, negativity or anything like that. But they, like, gave us, I think, like, 3 separate flags for taunting or unsportsmanlike conduct. And that was kind of annoying. To the point where even Coach Lashley was, like, genuinely pissed. He was like, what did they do? Like, what is going on? And then the announcers were some goofy people. Because the announcers were like, yeah, there's just no place in the game for that. They really shouldn't be acting like that. Hello? Do you watch football? Do you watch sports at all? Like, if people are celebrating something.
I hate that stuff. And it'd be like former athletes saying that silly shit. Like,
It is former athletes. It'd be former athletes. I'm like, I'm confused. Because again, when I say that it was like, I think they were doing like a kickoff return and we got them fairly early. And our, whoever he was, he stood up and he kind of like flexed. Now, he was looking down at the guy on the ground. So I can understand, like, from a officiating mechanic standpoint, you do have to call that taunting when you're standing over somebody. So I'm not completely upset with the fact that they are going by the written rules. But it was one of those things where it's also like, I mean, he was barely doing anything. Like, he just sort of flexed and just, like, walked off. But let the commentators tell it, and we're over here bullying these guys, and they're like, I just don't understand why they're acting like this. It's causing so much negativity for them. SMU has got to get it together. And it's like, we're not doing anything. So that was kind of weird. But the actual mechanics of the game, I mean, we scored when we needed to score.
Yeah.
Period. That's what matters. Kevin Jennings had himself a good game. Thank God. I think he threw a pick. He might have thrown a pick. I have to go. Yeah, he threw one singular pick. He was 23 or 43, 2 touchdowns. So it was not like, 290 yards. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, his best passing day. But for the most part, he had a great game. And what's his name? I can never think of it. Jordan Hudson, one of our main receivers. He had himself a game. So I'm proud. I'm happy with what I'm seeing from SMU.
Yeah.
And we can
always love that for SMU. Love that
always
for
find
Clemson.
joy in Clemson losing.
Every single day of my life.
If you can't find joy in Clemson losing, like what do you?
It's a good time. So we are 3-0 in the ACC. I don't know if that makes us. I think we haven't played enough ACC. Not played enough ACC, but I don't think we're number 1 in the ACC. I think we're like number 4, or something like that. Because there's some teams who have played more ACC games than we have. But we're 5-2, 3-0 in the ACC. Clemson is 3-4, so thank good God we don't have to talk about them no damn more. And they're 2-3 in the ACC, so it's just time.
You're tied. You're tied
Oh
for
my
second.
goodness. Clemson.
We're tied for second.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech
What
is
if
number 1,
Clemson
right? Because they've
goes-
had more
yeah.
ACC games.
What if Clemson has a losing record? Now,
That would be insane.
If that discussion happens now?
So they have a losing record right now.
Currently,
Right.
yeah.
If they
They play
finish the
North
season-
Carolina. Oh wait, hold on, wait. So to finish the season, they have Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman. How the fuck does that
Furman?
happen? And
How the
South
hell?
Carolina.
Where
South
is Furman?
Carolina.
Where is
All right,
Furman? Where
those
So
are
is
they
actually-
could easily lose to Duke or Florida State or Louisville
Louisville
or
at this
South
point.
Carolina. They have
Yeah,
4
I was
games
like,
that they
those
can
are-
lose.
I was
So
like,
there's
they're
a
about to say
real
they have 4 potential L's.
Those
there.
are losable games.
yeah. So they have 4, and they're currently 3-4. Let's be generous, right, and give them the Furman win. So that's 4. Let's call it 4-4. They have So then they would need to go 2-2 between Duke, Florida State, Louisville, and South Carolina to end up 6-6.
I think they go 1-3 in that.
I wouldn't surprise me. I
Period.
could see them giving up, right?
I feel like they're gonna beat Duke. I feel like by the time Florida State gets to them, Florida State will have something to prove. So they might not win against Florida State. I don't think they're winning against Louisville at this point either. So, child, yeah, we could be talking. When was the last time Clemson had a losing record? We need to get our research together.
Yeah, I think they end up.
Right.
It's not
I think
looking
they
too
end
good.
up. I think they end up 5-6 going into the South Carolina game, and they need to beat South Carolina to not have a losing.
And they
record.
lose that game. They're gonna lose. Yeah, 5-7.
I will also say, Bryant Wesco Jr., he is a receiver for Clemson, had a catastrophic landing during a kickoff return where he kind of like somersaulted forward and his head and his neck like hit the ground in a really like insane. You remember who was that NFL player who stood on his head after a touchdown? Y'all know who I'm talking about?
St. Brown.
I think he was like a celebration. And he
Detroit.
like literally
Yeah,
stood on his head. So imagine that, but the player is still moving and his neck is like sideways into the ground. So he was hospitalized after the game. So I just want to send some love to him and his family, and hopefully he's okay, because it did not look very good when it happened. And we know head and neck injuries can be very, very serious, especially in football. So hoping that he's okay.
Very much.
Yeah, that is tough. Definitely hoping that he's okay. Next game, Georgia Ole Miss. Georgia wins a game.
What a game!
Cool. One of the best games of the year.
Oh, what a game!
Georgia's defense is cheeks. Just straight
Booty.
cheeks. Ole Miss
Ass.
scores on their first 6 possessions, I believe it is. Georgia and Ole Miss
Fuck.
together score
Yeah.
on their combined first 11 possessions.
Well, it was a shootout. It was a shootout.
And then Georgia's defense wakes up. They get 3 3-and-outs to end the game. Ole Miss has a chance to win the game late, to tie it, because they would need a 2-point
At the
conversion.
end, yeah.
They end up
Yeah.
not getting it. Georgia wins 43-35. I mean, we said it last week, right? Georgia's not going to beat itself. You have to beat Georgia.
Yeah.
They did the best that they could, but they couldn't get a stop at all. And then eventually Georgia got 2 stops, and that was the game. So Ole Miss is still
6-1.
under. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that was their first loss.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good team, but they haven't been able to clear the Georgia hump. I don't know that they can clear the Alabama hump. They need to
Not how they're
go.
looking.
No.
They need to.
Hey.
There is. I mean, they only have 1 loss, so depending on the rest of their season, they could still make the playoffs. They could
Ole
even
Miss?
potentially. Yeah, they could even potentially
Yeah,
make the
they're still in
SEC
the running.
championship game. But next week they play Oklahoma. That's going to be a big game for them, and then they play South Carolina, Citadel, Florida, and Mississippi State. So realistically,
Citadel.
Ole
What?
Miss, yes.
Citadel.
Realistically,
Citadel.
Ole Miss should be.
Is this the Hunger
Yeah,
Games? Like,
Listen, realistically, Ole Miss should be no worse than 10-2.
10-2,
They should make
for
the
sure.
playoffs.
For sure.
But
I
and they
think
could be 11-1. Realistically, they could beat everyone else on their schedule.
I
Yeah,
hate
I was
this
gonna
for
say,
them because
I
really
think the
was actually rooting
Oklahoma-
for them.
yeah, I think the Oklahoma game is a much what's the word I'm looking for? It's much more possible for them to win this game than Georgia. Oklahoma is not as they don't have as much firepower on offense, I would say, as Georgia.
Yeah.
So if it turns out to be a shootout type of thing again, I think Ole Miss could actually pull that one out. I think Oklahoma's defense isn't as good as Georgia's. Good enough, but
it's better.
It's
this year. It's
this
better.
year. Mm.
Yeah, Oklahoma probably has the second or third best defense in the country this year. But their offense is
my apologies, Oklahoma.
Offense is
their
ass.
offense is
the offense is not there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that the defense is doing their job literally, and then the offense is just 3 and out, punting. It's like, hello, we need points to win games.
Yeah, so I honestly could not tell you what's gonna happen in that game, for the sole fact of people like Oklahoma's quarterback. I don't personally.
What's his? He's the Meeser? No.
No.
Which one is he? I know what his name is. Mateer?
Yes, John Mateer.
Mateer? Yeah.
He is a 2025 Johnny Manziel. That's kind of how he plays. But the thing is,
the reincarnation of Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Ole Miss's defense isn't good. So like Oklahoma could still win this game because they could potentially stop Ole Miss from scoring, and like they could win this game 17-13 because Ole Miss can't score. So like anything is possible, but ultimately, with the rest of Ole Miss's schedule, it would be disappointing if they're anything worse than 10-2.
Yeah.
And don't make the playoffs. So
shout out to Ole Miss. It was a fun game to watch, entertainment value wise. Like, it was so much fun. I personally love a shootout. I love a you score, now I score, now you score, now I score. Oh, okay, you scored again. Oh, I love that type of football, because I just feel like it's just, offense is entertaining, right? I say this all the time. But mutual offense is the most entertaining. I'll say it like that. So I enjoyed it. I was jaw dropped. I was entertained the entire time. Speaking of games I was entertained by the entire time, Texas Tech and Arizona State. Also, riveting experience.
What a game.
What
a game.
Riveting experience. I was just like, I thought Texas Tech was going to lose, and they did, obviously. But when they scored 15 points in a minute and 45 seconds, I said, wait. Wait, Texas Tech said, we ain't no bitch, and I don't know why you thought we were. And honestly, yes, Arizona State ended up winning the game in the end because things went right for them in those last few moments, and they obviously didn't get the 2-point conversion. Is that what happened at the end? Child, there's so many games that happened yesterday. I gotta go back and read about it. But obviously Arizona State ended up winning in the end. But to me, this said more to me about Texas Tech than it said about Arizona State, if that makes sense. Like, I still think Texas Tech is going to win the Big 12.
I was going to say this kind of just says everything about the Big 12 and the ACC. A lot of these teams, in my opinion, are not going to just lay down and fall over.
Yeah,
that's what I see from
no one's getting bulldozed by anybody.
Yeah, I think the only thing we learned in this game doesn't matter unless, again, you're the national media, because the national media was saying like, oh, Texas Tech, literally, I promise you, I was listening to a podcast on the Louisville-Miami recap of Louisville beating Miami. They said, is this the year that Texas Tech can win a national championship? Less than 24 hours later, they lose. So the only thing that we learned in this is that they're good but not great, which we knew. They're probably one of the better teams in the Big 12, but they're not untouchable. That's
no,
it.
Why would who said that? Why would we say that?
Listen, people were saying that Texas Tech was going to go undefeated, and that
they also said Clemson was a national title favorite, and they're 3-4.
Exactly.
These niggas is dumb.
Which is why I said no one really learned anything except the national media. Yeah.
Bro, Clemson hasn't been a name since we were all in college.
No, literally,
but they
when
said
we
that
did our
going into the
preview
year,
show, coming into the season, they said Clemson was a title favorite. I said, whose title? Like,
which
one? Surely not the
They
Daddies.
wasn't even
an
ACC title favorite.
Thank you. I was like, surely you're not talking about the national championship. Like, no way.
That one.
Not that title.
That one. Oregon beats Rutgers 56-10.
Bro, that was
literally
a slaughter.
The only reason this is on here is because I was at
you were
that
there.
game.
I remember I was looking at I was watching the Texas Tech game, and I texted Jordan.
And you know what? It's so unfair because
was-
Oregon lost that game last week, so Rutgers was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, our homecoming about to
Yeah,
be."
no, seriously. Because that's how Dan Lanning operates, bro. And Dan Lanning was
He beats up on the team after the loss.
Dan Lanning was up 28-3 and doing trick plays. Doing trick plays.
Not that it was
Like
flea flickers.
he's a fucking asshole, bro. He's an
He's trying to
asshole.
get them
like
to
a
feel
fucking,
better and shit.
I was shook. I remember I was texting you.
42-3 at half.
I was texting you, and I was like, because I was texting you, I think, about the Ole Miss Georgia game. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Whatever game was happening before the Rutgers game. And then I looked at the score, and I saw 28-3, and I said, is that real? Like, is that correct, or is ESPN
And by the
back?
time I saw the text, it was 35-3. I said, well, actually, 35-3.
Actually, we're getting our ass beat.
Yeah. So,
anything to say about that, Jordan? Other than witnessing a slaughter in person has got to be.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Gotta be rough.
Yeah, it's interesting. And
we
were in the Oregon
28-3. All right, I'm going home.
Well, we left at halftime.
Because
I'm not getting to
42-3.
halftime. I'm not getting.
No.
I wouldn't have gotten that far. I wouldn't have gotten that far.
So
The first quarter, I'm like, thank you so much.
I'm not seeing 40 points in the first half.
All right,
I'm not seeing that number.
Yeah, but a part of it is train schedule.
Fair.
You know? And
He's
another
like, we
part
are
is,
in New York.
Yeah, and another part of it is one of the people that I went with works at Rutgers and wanted to see the halftime show because they were inducting some people into Hall of Fame, and he wanted to see who got inducted. But it was largely
cute.
train schedule. Like, if we could have made the 8:30 train, we probably would have left, but we couldn't. We left at halftime and barely made the 9:30 train. So the train, it's New Jersey. It only comes every hour. It's not New York where it comes every.
Shit, I wasn't
So
aware.
yeah, once an hour.
Well,
Iowa 25, Penn State 24.
Oh, hell, I missed this game. I knew I was missing a game.
Penn State's about to lose 6 straight games. They're on a bye week this week, and then they play Ohio State, and then they play Indiana.
Jordan
they're about to win.
Penn State about to win 6.
They're about to lose. They're about to lose 6 straight games. This was
Jesus.
embarrassing. They let Iowa's quarterback run for over 100 and something yards on them.
Oh no!
Oh no! The quarterback?
Yep.
Oh, they have given up.
Yeah.
The quarterback? The quarterback?
They have given up.
Who's the interim right now?
Somebody.
He
has a name.
Just lets you know that, right?
He has a name. It's probably their defensive coordinator.
No,
I mean, okay,
it's
but
not.
here's the
But
thing.
speaking of their defensive coordinator,
to Penn State's defense, they also lost Drew Aller. So, like, where are they really going without James Franklin and Drew Aller? Like, the season is over
That's
for them.
fair.
That's
both of you have
is
mentioned
true.
the word defense, so let me regale you with a tale about defense. Penn State.
Ooh.
This is a tweet.
Somebody looked at his thesaurus.
He said regale. He said regale. Excuse me.
This is a tweet I saw on
This
Twitter.
He got a rich man. He got a rich white man
He
laugh
got the
now.
SAT words.
Yes, quite.
Indubitably.
This is gonna be the dumbest clip.
No, we gotta post this clip. We have to post this clip. I'm sorry. I cannot.
Penn State's defense in the last 4 games, Penn State led Oregon 24-17 in overtime, needed a defensive stop. Didn't get one. Penn State led Northwestern 21-15 with less than 5 minutes left, needed a stop. Didn't get one. Penn State led Iowa 24-19 with less than 5 minutes left, needed a stop. Didn't get one. Jim Knowles' defense was overwhelmed by UCLA. Penn State never led in that game. They stole him from Ohio State. This isn't even about him. This is just like whatever, right? It's unfortunate. He wins the national championship.
What's crazy? Did James Franklin deserve to get fired, or was it the defensive coordinator that should have been gone?
Wow. You know what? Unfortunately, here's what I'll say. Unfortunately, when you're the head coach,
because I'll say this.
It's your fault.
That's just how it goes. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Because I'll say this: last year, the defense was almost national championship worthy.
It was great, but it was also they were anchored off of what is that child's name? You know his name, Jordan. He got drafted.
Abdul Carter.
It was anchored on Abdul Carter. There we go.
Yeah.
That's how it's like. What?
Yes, true, fair. But
their defensive coordinator is also at Clemson now.
Oh.
which is why they had to hire a new defensive coordinator.
I didn't know they had a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, you
Yes, they
did, 'cause
have
you talked
Ohio
about it.
State.
They stole him from Ohio State and made him
They
the
took him from
highest
Ohio
paid
State.
coordinator in the world.
We did talk about this. We
Yeah,
did talk about this.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
You know,
That's
I'm
what I'm
still
And now he
saying.
listening.
sucks.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Yes,
Ohio
you
State's
don't have
defense is the best in
Abdul
the
Carter
country.
anymore, but you're supposedly supposed to have a better defensive coordinator. And I mean, looking at Clemson's defense, it's a toss-up now.
Yeah.
But,
You're like,
but coming into the year,
Excuse
you're
me.
supposed to have a better coordinator and things like that. To come in and not be able to stop UCLA, like last year,
Yeah.
even if they didn't have Abdul Carter, they're stopping UCLA.
They should stop him. Yeah, yeah.
They're
them,
stopping
yeah.
UCLA. Northwestern, you're not even worried. Because Northwestern probably only scores a touchdown, maybe 10 points last
that.
year. Yeah. Like, so
Child.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
May not have
Jim
been
Knowles
all
is-
on James
yeah,
Franklin.
yeah,
but-
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. I mean, at the end of the day, we said with such confidence that day on the show that James Franklin was not going to be a midseason fire. It was going to be maybe negotiation, all these
That's
things.
why I
because
thought,
there's all this stuff
honestly,
going
if
on.
we were going to get a notification, it'd be Jim Knowles fired as defensive coordinator at Penn State. Like, I thought a coordinator was going to go. And
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
think
that.
the
I
thing with
understand-
James Franklin, it had just been going on for too long, and they were tired of it. So it was
Yeah.
11 years. Ultimately, regardless, ins and outs, ups and downs, I really think the heart of the thing with James Franklin is they had just been together too long, right? Like 11 and a half years, they had done what they could do. James Franklin is going to go and have Florida in the playoffs next year, and Penn State better hope that they're good next year, because I have questions about that. But that's an off-season topic. Texas, Kentucky. Texas beats Kentucky 16-13 in overtime. The only reason this is on here is because Texas needed overtime to beat Kentucky.
Why did it go to overtime?
Because Texas sucks.
Why
right
did it
now.
go to overtime?
They suck.
It's time to have that conversation
Well,
about
at least they
Arch Manning.
didn't give up
Yeah.
like Penn State, though.
Exactly.
But it's Kentucky. This is no shade to Kentucky.
Like, yeah.
This is no shade to Kentucky.
Kentucky was
No.
a decent team last year, weren't they?
They were decent,
2
but it
years
was
ago.
it
I think
was-
they were
2
bad
years,
last
okay.
year too. Yeah,
they
but they almost
well,
beat Georgia last year.
No, that's Kansas. I'm thinking of Kansas. Kentucky was fine. Kentucky is very much fine. That's what I'm getting at. Is like
I was like, I
no
thought
one
they
is
were
sitting
pretty
here
decent
high
team.
on Kentucky. No one's sitting here being like Kentucky is the best. We've seen it. No, Kentucky is fine. So you, Texas, ranked Texas, generational quarterback Arch Manning having Texas should not be going to fucking overtime.
Were they
with
ranked in
Kentucky.
that game? Were they ranked in that game?
I don't know.
don't
Were
think
they?
were ranked in that
Kentucky.
No,
game.
Texas.
No.
Texas is not
I
right.
don't think Texas was
I don't
ranked
know
in
if-
that game.
No, yeah, because Texas fell out of being ranked, and I don't think they came back
Yeah.
in. Yeah, because they're
Okay.
they're still
Yeah.
not ranked. No,
Well,
they're ranked.
obviously
no,
not now.
No, they were ranked. They were ranked.
I thought they
They're-
were. That's what I was like. I'm
They were
not
ranked
smoking
number
crack.
21. They were
That's what I
ranked
was like.
21.
I'm not smoking crack. They're ranked, and they think that Arch Manning is the second coming of Christ to football. So therefore, y'all should not be going to fucking overtime with anybody, let alone Kentucky. That is my point.
True.
That is my point. No
Um,
shade to
Like,
Kentucky.
all-
Good job, Kentucky. Good job for taking them to overtime. However, I'm more so
That's
side-eyeing
embarrassing
Texas
for
for
them.
even being in that situation.
Notre Dame, USC. Notre Dame wins 34-24 because Lincoln Riley's a fucking loser. Lincoln, listen. So there's just things that
How
happen.
long he been there now?
Right? They're 4 years. I
4
think.
years,
There's,
I think.
I think a lot of these coaches all got hired at the same time. There's this thing that
It's
happens
about
right in these
time we
games
start
where you
talking
watch-
about him. Oh no,
Listen,
actually,
where you watch
I
these
don't know.
games and you're just like, oh, that's a bad decision. That's gonna hurt them. So USC gets a stop, right? It is 27. It's 27-24. USC gets a stop. They're driving. They have a big play, like a 30-yard pass play, and then in the rain. Immediately after
The
a 30-yard
rain.
pass play, because again, they were passing the ball basically whenever they wanted to, they call a trick play to a wide receiver to throw the ball in the rain, and he fumbles. And as soon as he fumbled, I said the game is over. Notre Dame immediately gets the ball. They march down. They get a touchdown. That's game. And it's just one of those things where, like, why would you were doing well. Why would you call a trick play where a wide receiver has to handle the ball in the rain? Also, Notre Dame's defense is not as good as people expected it to be, but it is still good enough that you don't run stupid fucking trick plays against them. Like, you don't run trick plays against fast and disciplined defense. That play had no chance of working. And the wide receiver didn't throw the ball. He tried to do too much. He fumbled, and the game was over at that moment. And that's 100% on Lincoln Riley, because you shouldn't have called that. You shouldn't have got cute. They had a chance to win the game. They were driving, and the game was lost as soon as it happened.
That's their second. That's USC's third loss now in the season.
That's a good
It's
question.
not second.
I think it's
if
their
it's
second, not their third.
yeah. That
Yeah.
I can't. I was gonna say we might start having to have a discussion, but Lincoln Riley hasn't been. Oh no, he's been mediocre, which is a fireable offense for his.
They're not gonna
namesake.
fire him because he's another coach with 10 years and a million, like a $70 million buyout right now. But he's not looking great. Last one, because we've been doing our recap for much too
A
long.
long time.
The Holy War, BYU, Utah. BYU wins 24-21. I believe they stayed undefeated. This
But they
was
did.
this was a good game.
It was a good
BYU
game.
has won this game 3 years straight after not winning for a while, and you know,
It was giving very much Bloods versus Crips. I loved it. I was obsessed with the all red and the all blue. I thought it was cutesy. It was giving very much that. I'm just being honest, but I enjoyed the game. It was very, very entertaining. Damian Dampier, that's his name, right? Did I just make his
Devin.
name up? Devin, damn it. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with names. If they're not a WNBA player, I don't know their name. I gotta.
Yeah, you thought three of the same people was getting all the tackles on.
Okay, see, we were not gonna bring that on the air. I don't even know what the hell I was going to say. The point is, the Holy War was fun. The only thing that really just killed my vibe the entire time was RG3 being one of the commentators. I truly wanted to throw up every time I
watched
heard
that
his
game
voice.
in silence. I didn't even
It
know.
was
Lucky you.
disgusting. I was disgusted. I wanted to die. Speaking of commentators, because as you guys know, I am an aspiring commentator, I will say, and I've known of Jesse Palmer for a while. Jesse Palmer has been a commentator for a good minute, and he hosts a lot of shows and does all these other things. It's been a while since I watched him call a college game. My God, that man is a good commentator. Like, Jesse Palmer is a really, really good commentator. He does not get enough flowers for how well he keeps you in the game, because I think sometimes, especially with football commentating, it's really easy to get off track because the game is not very fast paced. Like football in general is not a fast paced game. So
Not really,
sometimes
no.
as commentators, you can easily get off track, have other side conversations, talk about somebody's mom, whatever the case is, because you're waiting for the next thing to happen. And I feel like Jesse Palmer does a really, really good job of actually explaining the game. Like, if you don't know college football or football really at all, he does such a good job of orienting you and giving you an idea of why the offense did what they did, or why the defense did what they did, or what different schemes. And it was great. Listening to him talk was great. And then I got stuck with RG3 for the primetime game. So, and then they promoted his podcast during the broadcast. I said, get out of my face. He was like, I don't know what his podcast is called. Something stupid, I'm sure. I can't remember. But they, towards the end of the game, were, talking about it. And I was like, is this a YouTube show? What is going on? Why are you plugging your Talk about what's going on the field. So that was my only issue with the entire experience. But I thoroughly enjoyed the Holy War. I am with Jordan in the sense that, I really am not understanding why this doesn't happen during rivalry week. But anyway. It was a fun game.
Yeah, when I become somebody, listen, that's gonna be the first thing I fix. That's gonna be the first thing I fix.
When
he said BYU and Utah will be a rivalry week game in my administration.
Yes.
When
I am the commissioner,
I am writing
of
an
college
executive
football,
order. I will say, I just have to say,
bush anymore.
No,
I will
I'm
just have to
fixing
say, the life of a content creator is very ghetto, because I vlog content days like this. I have had my phone on filming me for over an hour because I did not realize I turned the video off. I have an hour video on my phone. I don't want an hour video.
Well, you got it now. You have it. Now you got it.
And I edited my video from yesterday, and I showed my mom, and I clicked a button on accident, and everything I had disappeared, so I have to re-edit one of my videos from yesterday.
Yikes.
That's why I don't edit my content.
It's so nice to be you, isn't it? Anyway.
Well, no, not really, because I haven't been able to stream in 2 weeks. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so moving on to the 2-minute drill. Our 2-minute drill this week is, will the real contenders please stand up? It is Ohio State and who else? So as a quick recap, In
Ohio
this
State.
week of college football, the number 2 team Miami lost, the number 5 team Ole Miss lost, the number 7 team Texas Tech lost, the number 10 team LSU lost, the number 11 team Tennessee lost, the number 20 team USC lost, the number 22 team Memphis lost, the number 23 team Utah lost, and the number 25 team Nebraska lost.
The fact that Nebraska's ranked, shout out to them.
The new top 10, because of all of these rankings, is 1 Ohio State, 2 Indiana, 3 Texas A&M, 4 Alabama, 5 Georgia, 6 Oregon, 7 Georgia Tech, 8 Ole Miss, 9 Miami, 10 Vanderbilt. Even though I'm an Ohio State fan, I do not believe that Ohio State is the only team that can win a national championship, although I do believe that they are the best team in college football, and it's not even close. So the question is, because all these teams keep losing, who are the real contenders? Who can win a national championship? Ohio, and even though I do think Ohio State's the best team in the country does not always win a national championship.
Doesn't always win, yeah, you're right.
So who are the teams? Like, who do we believe in? Who do we think can do it 7 weeks into the season? For me, my answer is just Ohio State and Alabama. I don't believe in
Bama?
Bama's quarterback is good. Bama's quarterback is good.
Their defense is.
I'm not shading Bama. I watched them play Tennessee yesterday. They weren't in the power sleep, but I did watch the Bama-Tennessee game. It was very much all Bama.
That could have been in there. I forgot.
Yeah, it was very much all Bama. They did I'm not shading Bama. Y'all just know how I feel about that maroon A.
They were in the red
zone.
That 98-yard pick six.
Why the fuck would you throw that? And why would you? Speaking of bad coaching, why would you call play action on the goal line? You don't need time. All you're doing is giving the defense time to react.
More time.
If you're going to run that route, just two-step drop and throw it. You just gave the defender hella time to be like, that's interesting. Let me go up here and see what's about to happen. Pick six.
Yardages.
And then it's one-on-one. There's no one else out there. So once you get that intercept, those are the interceptions that make me rage quit playing the video game. like if I throw
that's when you click the button.
If I throw an interception in the end zone, I just click.
That's when you click the PlayStation button. You're just
I'm not about to watch him run for 100 yards on me. No.
I'm not gonna cap.
That was dumb. He's stupid.
I'm not gonna cap. I'm high on Indiana. I think we're going to watch Ohio State and Indiana in the Natty.
I think
we're watching Ohio State and Indiana.
I think Indiana has a chance. I think Texas A&M.
I don't believe in them. I think
they're decent enough. I think the top 4 are good enough to win the championship.
Are the contenders.
And honestly, I still won't sleep on Georgia until Georgia's knocked out.
Georgia's defense is bad. I'm not sleeping on Georgia either.
Georgia's defense is bad. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Georgia's defense, it's bad. But there were teams that weren't playing that well of defense until and then when they got to the playoffs, it ramped up. It turned up and ramped up. Including Ohio State.
Ohio State's defense was good all year. So
but it did ramp up in the playoffs.
It went up a level. It went up a level. Is the point.
And it took a dip at one point in that in the
Oregon game. Was it the Oregon game?
So hear me out.
Oregon and Michigan, because
let's play a game.
It wasn't that wasn't their best game against Michigan.
It was not.
Jordan
trying to move the topic along.
They allowed 13 points. That was on the offense. They played fine against Michigan. Let's play a game. Ohio State versus Georgia. Who wins?
I'm sorry?
Ohio State versus Georgia. Who wins?
Probably Ohio State. But I don't think Georgia. In
Indiana
the playoffs
versus Georgia. Who wins?
Georgia. I'm gonna say Ohio State, but I'm 51-49.
I'm gonna go. I will.
Okay. Indiana, Georgia. Who wins?
Indiana.
Probably in Indiana.
You're more confident about Indiana beating Georgia than Ohio State?
Yes. I am more confident about Indiana beating Georgia because if there's a game that Georgia's going to lose, it would be against Indiana.
But not whatever.
But not Ohio State.
Not Ohio State.
I'm not saying Ohio State is not going to beat Georgia. I'm saying
hold on. Georgia against Ohio State is getting a different Georgia than Indiana.
No, I don't believe that. Their defense.
I agree. Thank you. You understand what I'm saying.
Texas A&M, Georgia. Who wins?
A&M. No, Georgia.
I might go Georgia.
No, Georgia.
Alabama, Georgia. Oh, we already saw that game.
Yeah, it already happened.
Okay. If that's how you're gonna answer, then sure, we can count Georgia as a contender.
Because again,
Georgia is a
Georgia,
contender. We have to be honest.
Even though you had them
Georgia,
losing 3 games, you had them essentially losing to the top 3 teams.
But Georgia also,
and then they already lost to
does
Alabama.
That thing. There's a good chance that like Georgia does the thing where it's like, oh, even in these games where you think they're about to lose, they go, oh yeah, we're Georgia.
Just
like
kidding.
it could happen. It could happen in the playoffs where it's like, we are Georgia. Get up out of here, Texas A&M. Get up out of here, Indiana.
Yeah.
Like it.
I'm just more
People thought
confident
that was going to happen. People thought that was going to happen last year, and Notre Dame smacked him up.
That's also fair.
I think Georgia. And listen, the consensus
and Notre Dame
2 against 1. 2 against 1, Georgia. So we'll include Georgia in the contender. I think
we have
Georgia,
to include Georgia in the contender.
I don't think we have to, but
I would consider Georgia a contender. What I mean by this is I would consider Georgia a contender over Bama at this point. If we're talking about,
I don't agree with that either.
I'm sorry, Georgia's a contender over Bama.
That's nuts.
So the last one,
Bama beats Georgia. Like they beat
still
Georgia.
They're a contender over Bama to me. Still.
Okay, last one. All right, let's continue. Is Oregon a real contender?
No.
So does it stop at Georgia or does it continue to Oregon? Do we have 5 or do we have 6? Where are we at?
Let me look at Oregon's schedule.
Well, the schedule doesn't matter. All these teams are making the playoffs.
They're all making the playoffs, but it matters in the sense of like with the
seeding.
With the seeding.
They should end up 11-1. They probably won't lose another game because they don't play Ohio State again.
Okay.
They won't be in the Big Ten championship game?
No, it'll be Ohio State, Indiana.
Oh, right.
Fair. You're right.
Right.
You're right.
right.
Right. You're right.
All right. So really quickly, let's play a game. Ohio State, Oregon, who wins?
Ohio State.
Indiana, we already got it. But if they play a second time in the playoff, Indiana, Oregon, who wins?
A second go around?
Indiana, probably.
Second go around. Yep.
Indiana, probably.
Dante?
Probably is Indiana, but a second go around?
Okay. Texas A&M, Oregon, who wins?
I'm going with Oregon.
I would say Oregon.
Okay. Alabama, Oregon, who wins?
I'm going to go with Alabama because Alabama has the better defense in the better run game. And that has been a Achilles heel for Oregon is that they when a team runs the ball, they can run the goddamn ball.
Oregon's linebackers are really bad. Georgia, Oregon, who wins?
I'm going to go with
Georgia.
I'm gonna go with Georgia late win.
Okay.
In the fourth quarter.
It's competitive.
I think we had them like 3-2, which means they should have to be a contender. Georgia Tech, contender or not?
For the Natty?
Yeah.
We gotta get serious.
Okay. So according to the Power 2 podcast, at this exact point in time, we have 6 contenders. It's Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, and Oregon. I don't think this list is that long. I think we need to pick. So I don't think we can have. I don't think
the list is long this year. I just don't think it's long this year.
But 6 teams is pretty long because it's only a 12-team playoff.
Yes, but
half the teams
it's
being
also
contenders
a lot of parity this season.
Yeah, especially like I think you keep forgetting that teams are a lot more closely competitive.
There's so much more parity this season. And Ohio State is the only team where it's like guaranteed I could see them in the Natty and I don't even question it.
And I think that's only going to be this year. Because last year it wasn't like that. It'd be like
they
that for
snuck
this
up
year.
on us last year, yeah.
And then I think next year it's going to be like I don't know. Like
there's a lot of parity.
Teams, so 6.
And because even Texas Tech, we can't count Texas Tech out like completely.
I'm counting them out.
I'm completely out of the playoffs. Out of the playoffs.
No,
not the national championship.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is only about the national championship.
We're saying contenders.
Just the national.
But I'm saying like there's always that sleeper team where you're looking at them and you're like, yeah, okay, and then all of a sudden they're 1 win away from the Natty. So I'm just saying that could potentially be a Texas Tech. That could be one of those teams where like you're just not looking, because even to me, even Ohio State sort of snuck up on us last year. Like everybody, we were watching Ohio State. Ohio State was doing well enough, but no, we weren't looking at it like, oh, they're guaranteed to go to the Natty.
I think there was last year there was a lot of teams that I could have seen as a contender for the national championship. And Ohio State was one of them. But I also had Oregon. Yeah, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia. See, and what was it last year? It was only 8 teams last year, right?
No, it was 12.
12, and I
Yeah.
just named 5. So like it's
They were
not
all a good chance. There was a good chance for
in
at least
Indiana,
half of them.
6. There goes 6. Yeah,
I think Jordan
I
just doesn't
think
want to
if I
hear that there's other contenders besides Ohio State. I think that's
no,
where we're
I
at. No,
think
I'm just
there's 3. I just don't think there's 6. I don't agree on Georgia, and
I
I
just
don't agree
think
on Texas A&M.
I just think when
I'd give you
it's college
Oregon. I'd
football,
give
it's
you Ohio
college
State.
football.
I'd
You
give
have
you
to leave
Indiana.
room for those sleeper teams. You got to
Okay,
leave room
that's
for
fine.
You
the
get
We'll-
wait.
we'll-
Hold on. Because I know you don't like. I know you understand that Georgia's defense is bad. You can see Oregon, but not Georgia. And I want you to
talking to me?
understand that. No, I'm talking to
I
Jordan.
think did
I
I,
was
think I
like,
said
I said-
Indi- I think I
defense.
said
Because
Indiana.
No,
I
you
say
said
Georgia?
Oregon. You said you don't see Georgia, but
Right.
you see Oregon.
I thought I said I don't see Georgia and I don't see Oregon.
Oh, okay. Maybe
so
I
wait,
missed
who are
that.
your
Okay.
3? Give me your 3
My
again.
my
Ohio
3
State.
is Ohio State, Indiana, Alabama.
Okay.
I feel like
I
if
thought
we're
he
gonna
said
come
he
down
saw
to 3,
he didn't see Georgia but saw Oregon. I was gonna be like, they're both those defenses are
Or-
bad. Like,
Yeah.
you
I
gotta
say
be able to see
Because,
both.
so and my thing is like I don't think Oregon can beat Ohio State. We saw them get smacked up by Indiana, and I don't think they can beat Alabama. So it's hard
I don't
for me
think
to
they could
put
beat
them
Georgia
there.
either.
We saw. So if they can't beat Georgia, then they definitely can't. And again, this is just my list. The consensus says 6. I'm fine with that. We're still early enough for that to be the case. But I don't. I think it's 3. I think it's Ohio State, Indiana, Alabama. But the other ones, I agree that it's too early to fully cancel them
to
out.
tell.
I'm
Yeah.
just projecting if they played early, like if they played, I just don't see them beating. Like that's what like I don't see A&M beating Ohio State, Indiana, or Alabama. So to me, they can't be a contender. I don't see Georgia already lost to Alabama. I don't see them beating Ohio State, so that's hard to make them a contender. Oregon lost to Indiana. I don't see Oregon beating Indiana or Alabama. So that's why for me it's 3 instead of 6 because I don't see those teams
You see
beating
the other 3
ones.
cannibalizing themselves. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But
I understand.
again, 2 against 1.
I
I'm
can
fine
see
with
Indiana
the 6.
losing
I don't
to
think it's
Texas A&M. I can see that. Yeah,
that's actually
Really?
that's a weird one that
That-
I like. Texas, yeah, that's like
Mhm.
it's hard to explain because I don't really like Texas A&M, but I think
Me
Texas
neither.
A&M has good enough players that I think that like
They could
that
slow
could be a
Indiana.
There's
weird
an
one.
ESPN notification.
That
What
could be
is
a
it?
weird one.
They could end up slowing.
I just heard the
Indiana
noise.
down.
What is it?
I don't know. I didn't get it. Oh, tell
Yeah,
us.
me
Oh,
neither.
great one. Oh,
Right.
Dallas
Well,
Insider.
Devontae Smith got a 79-yard touchdown.
Ah,
Anyway.
boo.
Okay.
Oh
anyway,
my God!
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I'll
No,
say
we're
to
fucking
wrap.
fiending for somebody to get fired. And it's
Fired. I
fucking
know.
touchdowns. Get out of here.
We're greedy. It already happened once. I'll say
Yeah.
if
That
I'm
was
being
forever
completely
ago
like,
too, because they're on
Yeah.
defense and about to.
Yeah.
They're on defense.
if I'm being completely real, and listen, I'm not a guru like Jordan where I can like sit here and talk about all the different matchups and who does what and how I don't know. What I will say is I do think the natty is Ohio and Indiana, like genuinely. But I know the seeding and all that stuff matters of like how if they actually end up matching up with each other. But if they end up on opposite sides of the bracket, it's Ohio and Indiana. Personally, like I just don't see it. I see Indiana being able to beat Georgia. I also see Indiana being able to beat Bama. I don't know if it's going to be an easy dub, but I see those two things happening.
I just pray.
I don't think Indiana's defense is that great. Where I'm just like, it's definitely those two. I can see Indiana having a slump on offense and their defense not being able to keep up.
I want to see Alabama, Indiana so bad. Like I want like if
I don't want it for my eyes, but yeah. Like,
okay. So
he said not for my viewing pleasure.
They're very close. They're very similar.
So last one. Yeah, last thing in the playoffs. 7 weeks in, let's pick our ideal semifinal. So mine, I want to see Indiana, Alabama, and then I want to see Ohio State, Georgia. I want to get some get back on Georgia. And I don't think Georgia's a contender, but as we talked about, teams have to beat Georgia. And to Dante's point, it's still Georgia. And I do think that Georgia could little bro somebody and get to the semis. So I want to see Alabama, Indiana, and Ohio State, Georgia. That's my semifinal. What would your 2 games be?
Oh, that's a good question.
In an ideal world. We don't know what the bracket's going to be. What 4 teams you want to see play each other?
I want to see Indiana, Oregon. I want to see Indiana, Oregon. And then I'm going to go with you still. I think I want to see Ohio State, Georgia again.
Okay. So, okay. And that would mean Alabama doesn't get there, but those would be fun games.
I'm sorry. I don't
But
give
yeah,
a
you don't
fuck
believe
if
in Alabama, so
is
yeah.
12-0 right now and they have 6 more games. I will never on the air ever act like they are contenders.
Hey, Dante,
care.
you remember when DJ said she wasn't a hater? And we was like, we're all 3 haters. And she said, I'm not a hater. And it's like, you're a fucking liar.
I'm not a hater. I'm a truth teller.
All right, whatever.
This is my truth.
Dante,
my truth is that I hate Bama.
I really couldn't believe she tried to slide that in. I'm not a hater. Who are you talking to?
Hater recognize hate, dog. What are you
we
talking
are
about?
the real haters club. We really are. We are the real
Dante,
haters
what's
club.
your ideal
No, I don't give a damn where
while
Bama
y'all
ends up. I'm not rooting for them. I'm not rooting to watch them.
here,
No.
so
Get that
honestly,
maroon A out of my face. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of want. I know how. I know how the bracket makers and the people do
The
this.
bracket makers?
Or like I know how
The
I know
committee.
how they do this. The
Right.
committee does this. Ohio State, Indiana.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that because we're going to see it, but that's fair.
But that's what I'm saying.
We're
Like,
see
I know
it
how
with
this is gonna
Big
work.
Ten, yeah.
We'll get a
So,
rematch.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, Alabama.
So we
Ooh.
basically said all the same 4
I
teams
could-
except
yeah.
Bama and Georgia are the interchangeables for contenders for us right now. With that
Yeah.
being said, the game we just played actually completely just narrowed it down. Our contenders are
Ohio
Indiana,
State, Alabama,
Oregon,
Indiana, and Oregon.
Bama, Georgia, Ohio
Mhm.
State. That's
Yeah,
that's still a lot. But even with
Yeah,
the
the
top
only
four,
one
So
that's not in there is
those
Texas
five.
the
A&M.
interchangeables are
It's
Bama
those
and
five.
Georgia.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just don't believe in Texas A&M. So
Sorry to Texas
okay.
A&M, but again, how I feel about Bama,
I
double
think
it
Texas.
and put it on A&M.
Double it.
You know, I had to double it.
You know?
Double it, okay? I grew up a
Oh.
Texas, University of Texas baby. Double it. Sorry.
Horns down. Like,
Don't gig them. Fuck them,
yeah.
actually.
Okay, so
Okay.
I was too lazy to find a power defensive player of the week, but the offensive player of the
tried.
week is it's
Yo, why were we
Dante,
talking before the show?
Dante, it's
Why were we talking before the
power
show?
offensive player of the week is Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. He had 24 carries for 228 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had
One
5 catches
touchdown?
for
One.
37 yards. And the defensive player is the fusion of the Weeks brothers.
Y'all, okay, let me give context. We were talking before the show, y'all. We were talking before the show, y'all. And I was like,
in West Weeks.
I was like, oh my
combined,
gosh.
They did the fusion dance for LSU.
No, okay.
Oh,
because the fans are not going to understand. So here's what happened, y'all. We were doing the show plan, and I was like, wait, we don't have a defensive player? And they were like, no. And I said, what about Weeks, the Weeks guy from LSU? And they were like, well, what did he do? And I was like, well, shit, I don't know. Let me go look at the stats. So I'm looking at the stats, and I'm like, wait, they don't look as high as what I thought they would be. Like, I felt like the Weeks guy was really good. Like, I'm really confused. And then Jordan was like, well, which one? I said, what do you mean, which one? He said, there's multiple. I said, multiple Weeks people? And I was like... He was like, yeah, they're brothers. And I said, they all play at SMU or LSU? He was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? I might have fused them together. I might have thought that it was one guy with
And
really...
I tried to give her the benefit of the
You're
doubt,
watching
too.
the game.
I tried to give her the
But it's
benefit of
hilarious
the
because you
doubt.
don't know. You're just watching the game. All you see is Weeks on a tackle, Weeks on the
Man.
pressure, Weeks on the
Weeks
sack.
is having himself a game. Oh my God.
no.
Game.
There's two
You know
of
what's
them.
you know what's
There's really
hilarious?
3
That-
of them, but 2 of them start.
Yeah, I
That's
was
why I was like-
unaware
I was
that they
cracking
were
up.
Weeks brothers.
Because like when
Or
he
twins?
said
Are they
that there
twins or
was-
are they just brothers?
They're it's 3
when
of
he
them.
said there was
One's a super
brothers-
senior, one's a junior, and one's a freshman. They're like 2 or 3
That
years
sounds about
apart.
right.
Yeah.
Listen,
Eight
I
years.
thought that West Weeks, whatever Weeks, was having himself a game.
One of these Weeks.
One of the Weeks was having himself a game. And I was like, wow, this is great. We should put him on there. And then I had to be educated by my 2 co-hosts here that it's
2 of
multiple
them.
people.
Yeah.
Because like I knew there was 3, and I was like, well, at least one probably plays offense, probably plays like fullback.
Nope. All
This
3 are
nigga goes,
linebackers.
No, they
All
all
3
3
are
play
linebackers.
linebacker.
All 3 play
And they're all
linebackers.
like, they all have similar builds, which I think was
Yes.
also what was like, I was struck. I would just look up and see Weeks. And then, of course, their names both start with W. So you know how usually
Yeah.
on jerseys, they'll put like an indicator like, this is
You
W
can't do
Weeks.
that.
And this is, you can't do that when all their
It's
names
way-
start with the same.
Yeah. It's Whit
And
and
I know
West.
she just
I
saw
don't remember.
weeks,
I don't
didn't even
remember
say
the
it,
fresh.
didn't even
Yeah,
care about the
but the
numbers.
thing is, it made so much sense to me because it's just like if you don't know that there's because who do you like? No one expects for two brothers to start next to each other. And like Dante, like a
Playing
lot
the
of times,
same
one plays
position.
on offense or like or whatever. Like they
Mhm.
don't even like the Watt brothers, right? One plays defensive tackle,
And
the other
once,
one plays
yeah,
outside
exactly.
Outside
linebacker, rush
linebacker.
in, and
And
the
the
other one
third one
plays
plays
fullback.
fullback.
They all three play linebacker, and two of them start next to each other.
I was like, wow, this week's
That's why I
kid,
was like,
he's
oh, that
great.
makes sense why you didn't know
Yeah,
what number it
no,
was. You didn't care. You saw
yeah,
weeks
it's just
and
I
called
saw
it
Weeks.
a day.
So, anyways, shout out to the Weeks brothers from LSU
yeah,
because
that's
y'all
easy.
are
Yeah.
one great defensive player.
All over the goddamn field.
I saw the sack and I was like, wow, he just got a tackle back there and now he's sacking. I was like, this kid here, like we need to
This
call
week's
somebody
kid,
about this week's kid. We need to call somebody. Like, man, I'm
Oh God. Okay.
honest mistake. Listen, I do watch the
listen,
games.
I get it. Like that
Honest
one's
mistake.
like,
And I'm not
That-
an LSU.
no.
I'm not an LSU like
As soon as we
connoisseur,
said
like,
that, I was like, oh yeah.
yeah.
I don't know the
As soon as you
LSU
said that.
roster. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like once Jaden Daniels left, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
like I don't really care.
Right.
So
Oh,
that was my
God.
bad. That was my bad.
Yeah.
That was a great
Okay.
laugh.
So
That was a great laugh.
our screenplay. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give a caveat.
Oh,
This is going to
using
be a
big
good
words
week.
all day today.
This is going to be a good week because it's always a good week in college football. There are
Correct.
not many games that I am excited to watch.
Okay.
But we will do it anyway because games are going to be good. At noon, there's
He
Ole
said
Miss,
we're gonna do it
Oklahoma.
anyway.
I do not give a singular fuck about Ole Miss, Oklahoma, but it's a game that
That
has to
sounds
happen.
interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. I feel.
That
Yeah.
sounds
I
like
feel
a
like it's
really
gonna be
interesting game.
It's
Yeah.
well, maybe not. Well,
The race to
It gotta be.
the race to 9-3 continues for the SEC.
oh gosh.
And then we have USF Memphis. This game matters because these teams are fighting to get that last spot in the playoffs. And I think
Yeah.
they're in the same conference, so it matters for their conference. I think they're
USF
both in
just
the
took
American.
somebody down, didn't they?
Oh, they are. Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Memphis is lost, and so this matters for
I
them
know
because they
Memphis
can't
just
lose
lost.
twice. USF just beat.
I think they just took someone down,
Oh,
Yeah,
hold on.
US
or that was the week before, or something like that.
Let's see.
Hold please, I'm looking.
They just beat. They
USF.
just stomped. Oh, it was the week before. So North
Okay.
Texas was undefeated, and USF beat them 63-36. And then this week,
63 points in one game. Oh
Yep.
my God.
and then this week they put up 48 against Florida Atlantic.
Jesus.
Yeah,
The offense is offensive.
and yes, they are in the same
yeah.
conference. The winner of this conference is most likely going to get the
At large.
at-large bid. So basically, Memphis, because they lost, it's kind of then. But actually, Memphis because they lost, they're probably out of it. So they're trying to ruin South Florida's season, basically.
Well,
So it's going to be a
shout
good
out to
game.
South Florida.
Yep. And then at midday, we have Illinois, Washington. I just think that's going to be a fun football game. I'm so fucking disappointed that Washington lost to Michigan. But I just think this is going to be a fun football
Michigan.
game.
Mich-
Take how I
Michigan
feel
played
about
well in that
Bama.
game.
Quadruple it
Yeah.
and put it on Michigan.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you.
bullied them.
Michigan played well in that game.
Yeah, they did.
Washington
Nobody
looked
give a
like
fuck
they
if
had.
Michigan played well or not, cheating ass niggas.
Washington looked like they had no idea what was going on.
They didn't, which
That
is
sucks.
crazy.
I hate
That's
that for
unfortunate.
Washington. Didn't they win a national championship recently?
No, they were in the
Oh,
national championship.
they were
Oh, they
in
were
it.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out to Washington.
Against Michigan.
that was a
No, no, no,
rematch.
no, no,
That was
no,
the
no, no,
yeah,
no,
it was against
no, no.
Michigan. Yeah, they had talked about that during the pre-show for that game.
Yeah.
It was Michigan. Mm-mm.
Yep. And then also midday, BYU, Iowa State. BYU is still undefeated and is trying to play Texas Tech. Iowa State has a couple of losses, but I think they maybe only have one in the
I think it is
conference.
one or two
So
at
they're
the
still
most.
trying to get in there. Iowa State has 2 losses in the conference. So they're basically out of the conference for the Big 12.
Wow.
Right now,
That's
BYU
ass.
and Cincinnati are the undefeated teams in the Big 12. And they're the ones.
Cincinnati.
Yes.
Sorry.
So they're the only one.
Interesting.
They're the only ones who control their destiny. Obviously, they play these teams. Iowa State is hoping to sort of upset that and upset the balance. Evening, I definitely don't give a single fuck about this game. But there weren't really good games in the evening, unfortunately. This does not mean that they won't be fun watches, that games won't, but like
A&M LSU.
trying to
it's
tell
LSU.
you, trying to tell you to watch is kind of,
My eyes.
but
My
A&M
eyes.
LSU, we are probably going to get, if A&M wins.
We could just see some A&M and see how really good they are.
Yes, which is important because if A&M is a team that they want to be, they should stomp LSU. LSU has a chance to kind of take the shine out of A&M, and if A&M wins this game and they win heavily, we might really be on Brian Kelly watch for him to get fired.
Ooh, child.
Interesting, because he's only been there like 2 seasons.
3.
This is the third one. This is
Yep,
the third
this is the
one,
third
right?
one.
Yep.
Yep. So
I will say, no, this is evening, right?
Yeah.
Around evening. I'll say another evening game is I would thoroughly interested in Houston, Arizona State personally. Just because Houston is 6-1, Arizona State's 5-2. Aren't they in the same conference, Arizona State and Houston? Did I just make that up?
Yes, I
Big
believe
12?
yes.
so.
Oh, I missed that one. That's a
Yeah.
good pool. That's a good pool.
And they're both 3-1 in the Big 12. So this is going to be their pushing one or the other out of what is it, the top 2 or top 3 in the Big 12 right now?
Yeah, that is my bad. That is my bad. That is a good one. That is a good one. I don't know how I messed that one up. Shout out to DJ for the save. That is a good game.
There is also a rivalry game with Michigan and Michigan State, but y'all know I'm not watching that.
This is the 4th game. This is the 4th year.
That actually Michigan State is that's a good one, because we were talking about that'll show how good Michigan State is coming up, because I think Michigan State is going to be a decent or a decent to good team next year and a year after that. But this is a testament for both teams, because again, Michigan's quarterback's a rookie.
Yes,
fucking
freshman.
Yeah, freshman.
Yeah. Wait, you said it's Houston, Arizona State, right?
Yeah, Houston, Arizona State.
Yeah, they are both 3-1 in the conference.
In the conference, yeah, I know. I'm looking at it. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
that is a good one. Yep.
Yeah. Just in case you don't want to watch A&M and LSU,
I would prefer to watch
actual
Houston,
eyes.
Arizona.
I'm gonna watch Houston and Arizona, me personally.
and then the after dark game is Utah, Colorado. So this game does not really have much stakes.
It's
but
gonna be fun.
If you're up, it should be a decent game.
It's gonna be fun. I like Utah. Let me tell you, speaking of Utah, I meant to say this during the power sweep.
Pokemon
I did not know that tight ends got as large as Utah's tight end. What is his name? His name is Simi. He has like a very like cultural last name, but his first name is Simi, which I think is hilarious because he's about the size of a semi truck. This man is huge. I have never seen a tight end that large in my life. I've never seen a big guy move the way that he moves. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I'm going to watch him. I'm going to follow him. I want to see where he ends up in the NFL. Like, I am actually a fan. I wish I could remember his name, y'all. I'm so bad with names. I will find his name eventually. But Utah runs a scheme with 6 O-linemen, which I was unaware of. I didn't realize that you could do that. I guess you can, but nobody does. Yeah. So
it's more majority like a heavy package.
Majority of the time they run with 6 O-linemen. Maybe they said 7, but majority of the time they run with like an uncharacteristic number of O-linemen, because this guy Simi comes in as a tight end, even though I think he has like O-lineman skills. Like, he's really a blocker more than anything, but he can catch the ball and he can run. And I'm just like, I'm kind of here for it. Like, I'm here for the athletic big guys. I'm here for it. So I am very excited to watch Utah play. Who did we just say? Colorado. And of course,
yes.
Colorado is... Y'all, my brain. I'm finally finishing my coffee now. But anyways, I'm excited. When I was watching the Holy War last night, that was the one thing that I took away. I was like, I think I have a new person I'm a fan of. Yep. I need to find his name. It's semi-something.
Yeah. This is not that important, but it did happen on the show, so we have to mention it. Colorado State has fired Jay Norvell.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay.
Last 2-minute report. Do either of you have a last 2-minute report?
Talonga. His last name is Talonga. That's his last name. Simi Talonga. Anyways, do I have a 2-minute report? Of course I have a 2-minute report. Mine is actually 2 minutes. If you haven't seen the clips because you live under a rock, that's crazy. But Angel Reese was the first female athlete to walk in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. That thing was dangin'. I am a gay woman at the end of the day. But I just would like to say that I am...
Hey, that don't make it better.
Well, I'm just saying, so it doesn't sound crazy like I am. I'm not sexualizing her. I'm attracted to her. Anyways, if Angel Reese like girls, call me. But anyways, So I really more so was getting at the fact that I just really appreciate at this point. If you don't like Angel Reese, that's fine. You don't have to like her, but you have to respect the hustle. You have to respect that what she does it well. She executes it well, and everything that she does aligns well with her brand. That is a very smart businesswoman. Everything that she does is very, very, very on brand. Even with the Victoria's Secret Angel, her name is Angel. She wants to be a model. This is something that she said multiple times, that modeling is something that she absolutely wants to do while she's a WNBA player and after. So this is not just her walking in the show just because of whatever, because the white models was real mad that Angel Reese got casted instead of whoever else. But Angel Reese does things that make sense. She has a collab with Juicy Couture so that way that they can re-release the sweatpants, but it has a 14-inch inseam so the tall girls can wear them, because that was like the biggest issue with Juicy Couture before, is that it wasn't tall girl friendly. Her shoes have sold out. She's doing magazine covers. She's on the committee for the Met Gala. Everything she does makes sense for her brand. And if you hate it, eat it. And that's all I got to say.
Dante, do you have one?
Damn.
Nah, yeah.
Not a gaming related topic.
I do. Okay. I will say this. I got this. Unfortunately, it looks like the life cycle of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox whatever is coming to a close.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
What are y'all talking about?
PlayStation
I don't
6
have that much money.
There's going to be another PlayStation?
The PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox, there is the target release date is 2027 or 2028.
No. Okay, 2028.
Okay, I thought you were going to say 2026.
I'm going to say this. Jordan, while I know you're saying what you're saying, we are technically 5 years in these life cycles.
What?
These life cycles are usually 7 to 8 years.
They're 7 to 10.
I just can't believe it's been 5 years already.
They are 5 years.
That was the pandemic.
The problem is
because nobody got it for a year and a half. 2 years.
Yeah. So everybody keeps asking for games to be on the PlayStation 4. So it seems like the PlayStation 5 ain't been out there. We're still calling it next gen. This is current gen. PS5.
Yeah.
5
We're
years.
still calling it next gen. This is the PlayStation. It's the PlayStation 5.
PlayStation. Look me in my eyes. Make it smaller.
No, okay, but
that's
actually,
not gonna happen.
Can I just say,
I know.
if the game itself is not smaller, that's fine. If y'all could just please release multiple sizes of the controllers. I have had a bitch of a time with my small hands playing on those big ass controllers.
They say, get your hands up.
Which is why I prefer. Listen though, which is why I prefer the PlayStation 4, because the controller is more ergonomic for my small hands. Please understand that men are not the only people who are gamers. Women are gamers too, and our hands are smaller. Or there are people who have certain
gamers.
There are people who have certain disabilities or certain like things that they need things to fit into their hands properly. That controller is not ergonomically sound. It's just not.
So there are controllers that you can buy that are outside of PlayStation.
No, I want PlayStation to release it.
Well, PlayStation just as evil as Nintendo. Like, just about. Like,
I know. Nintendo came out with the Switch 2, right? And I was like, do I want the Switch 2? Because I already have a Switch. The Switch 2 games are over $100. I'm sorry. For the Switch?
No. And they're all digital. Everything's digital.
Everything is digital.
For the Switch 2.
No.
I
want physical media. No, no, thank you. I want the physical media. So there's also that.
There's that. So you PlayStation 4 niggas and the people who if you are a person that plays on your PlayStation 4 and you're okay with playing on it, like you didn't really see the reason to upgrade, fine. But if you're a PlayStation 4 person and wondering why you're no longer getting games or begging for games to look like the PlayStation 5, get your broke ass off 2K. Save your 2K money. And get a PlayStation 5.
Get your broke ass off 2K is crazy. Because this year, I'm still stuck on the fact that people could pre-purchase the VC for 2K.
You could always do that.
But since when? I don't remember that being a thing.
I want to say since like
couple years.
The past couple years.
That is so weird. That is so weird. Play through your My Player like a normal person.
Listen.
Anyways.
No one plays normal. I know I haven't played that game in 2 years, but no one,
No, I
everybody,
know. That's why I'm just like, play through your My
buys
Player
VC.
like we were doing in the trenches on 2K16 with the Spike Lee joint. Play through your fucking My.
Hey, bro, I got the game for free, and I started playing, and I went to buy VC, and I looked at myself in the mirror and said, "You're better than this."
No.
And I haven't played since.
No.
I haven't played since. No, I'm not doing that. Okay.
I keep having people ask me, "You sure you don't want the game? You used to be so much. You used to be so funny playing 2K." I was like, "Y'all niggas just want me to crash out on stream."
On Twitch.
Like, that's all you want.
They don't care about you.
They don't give a
They don't
fuck.
care about your well-being and your mental health. They're just like, we need to be entertained by.
We need to hear you tell somebody to get a trade job.
Yeah.
I saw that 2K23 story, the one where you were rapping with J. Cole, and I said, "Oh, we have lost our way with 2K. We have lost our way."
It's a lot.
They were doing TikTok
and they doubled down the next year. They
doubled
down the next game.
No, I'm so sorry about you. But shout out to Angel Reese for being a cover athlete. Look at how everything comes back to Angel Reese. Wow.
Hey.
Anyways.
No, fuck that. No. Cause fuck that game.
Oh, I thought he meant fuck that like for Angel Reese. I said,
fuck that.
We're just gonna be like, thank you so much for listening to Power 2 Podcast.
Next week there will only be 2 hosts. Angel slander will not be accepted. Dante is going to be suspended for a week.
Right, suspended for a week and fined. The only slander tolerated on this show is Michigan.
I come back in 2 weeks and like they tried to cancel me. No more free speech.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not allowed to criticize every player. That's crazy.
The only slander allowed on this podcast is Mario Cristobal slander. And
that one's encouraged. Okay.
That one's encouraged.
What the hell is this, Jordan?
My last 2-minute report is it's Halloween time. I've been watching slashers and horror movies and various things like that. And I listen to a bunch of true crime and various things like that. And I just want to say that there's a serial killer who I didn't really know much about. His name is Ed Gein from the 1950s. And all I have to say, have either of you seen Psycho, the original Psycho?
Yes.
The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and or Silence of the Lambs?
I have seen the original Psycho.
Okay.
I'm not watching that.
Doesn't matter. Here's the point. All 3 of these movies were inspired by the same person. Do you know how foul evil and crazy you have to be? And here's the thing. Psycho is essentially what started horror movies. Like that was like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
3 of them. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre fucking sucks. I don't care what anyone says. It is one of the few movies where I don't think the original is better than the remake.
Mm-hmm.
Like the original Halloween, the best one. Like the Psycho, like whatever. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre sucks. Either way, it doesn't matter. Ed Gein inspired all 3 of these movies. That is fucking crazy. I'm not even going to tell you what he did on this podcast. I'm not even going to tell you what he did on this podcast. But if you watch those movies, think about the things that are sort of similar in all of them. That's him.
Also known as the Butcher of Plainfield. Yo, go to hell.
And if you
I was about to say, it's probably got to be the skin thing.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Like it's got to be the skin thing. Yeah.
So he inspired all 3 of those movies. He's fucking foul. If you side note though, if you want to know about him, one of my second favorite white actor just is playing him on Netflix.
Second favorite is sending me. Sorry, go ahead.
He just Netflix just dropped a 5-part dramatization of him, and Charlie Hunnam is playing him in it. So if you really want to know about Ed Gein, you can watch it. It's on Netflix now. But I did not realize that he inspired all 3 of those movies.
Did you get to the skin
and
thing?
Again, do you know how foul you have to be for one person to inspire all 3 of those movies?
You guys, I know the base
because I know the basis. I know the basis of all 3, and that's why I was like, oh, the commonality has to be the skin thing. I'm not, and the fact that Jordan was like, yep, because I didn't explain anything. I haven't explained nothing, but I was like, it's got to be the skin thing. Yeah,
and then then they gave him the opportunity to die of natural causes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
This
also the mother thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
gross. So that was it. I hope you all are enjoying your scary
What?
movies and your things.
Yeah, they all. Oh
yeah.
my God, the skin thing and the mother thing connect.
And he
Yeah.
was an inspiration for
they
fictional
all.
serial.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I might watch
was-
that later today.
Oh, what?
There's
Oh, he
another
also
one.
was he was an inspiration for American Horror Story Asylum as well, which I haven't watched the Asylum season. What?
Oh, that doesn't surprise
Garland
me.
Green and the character
Oh,
Dr.
yep.
Oliver
yeah,
Burstyn.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I can't believe
Yeah,
that didn't click.
but those ones are much later. 3 of the original horror movies. 3 of the
Oh, and
first.
he said to also be the inspiration
1950,
for
and
Jeffrey Damn
1978.
Dahmer.
Which is a
Jeffrey
makes sense.
Dahmer was like, hey,
well.
I
he
want to
said,
do that.
Yeah.
A lot of serial killers are inspired by former serial killers.
I would just like to say that serial killers don't be black. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to the Power 2 podcast.
Well,
it is very rare. It's
serial
very
killers are
rare.
very rarely black.
Mhm.
Yeah, we will.
That's all I can say on that.
On that note,
And they're usually Geminis.
well, on that note, we will.
Look it up.
We'll catch you next week. Enjoy your Halloweens and the knowledge that there is a human being who was so foul he inspired 3 of the craziest movies of all time and Jeffrey Dahmer.
Also, we'll see you before Halloween.
Yeah,
just to be
well,
clear, we will
yeah.
see you before.
we will. My bad. We will.
There is
All right,
one
we'll
more
catch you-
episode.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do them in costume. Oh my God. Okay, we'll talk about that
No.
out there. Yes, we are. We are.
We'll catch you-
He said,
We're doing it.
"Hell no."
We're doing it. I don't
We'll
care.
catch you
Anyways.
next week.
Bye, y'all.